Hi, everybody. I am so sorry that this is late. I have been having a lot of issues this week with technology and having power and internet, all that great stuff. So I apologize that I'm a little late today, but I am going to go ahead and share with you what I had planned to start at 1 today. And I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe and healthy. But I wanted to give you some resources for you to be able to use while you're stuck at home a little bit. Pinterest is a great time sucker. There is a lot of awesome stuff on there to use. I use it all the time for recipes and things like that. So let me go ahead and get started, and I'll explain how easy it is to use and what you can use it for. Pinterest is kind of made to be a social media network, which a lot of times you wouldn't really think of it that way, but they have included some interactive tools for you to use in there that make it a social media type network. But the main uses of Pinterest is to organize and create information that's found on the internet. You can save it in one place, and then you can also link it back to the original websites where you found the information. It's used to create a visual bookmark of collected materials. You can follow pins created by your friends, and you can create your own boards and pins of information or resources that you have found that you want to use later. So a question that comes up often is Pinterest safe? I would say Pinterest is just as safe as any other social media site. You do have to make an account to log into it, and you have to have a password. Probably the biggest concern with this would be spam. There's a lot of suggestions suggesting you might like this pin or you might like this information, that kind of thing. People tend to complain a little bit about getting some spam on that, but that's probably one of the biggest worries. I will talk a little bit more about safety closer to the end of this. You don't really need that much personal information to set up your account. But once you set it up, you will, I think you'll enjoy using it. So how do I get started? First, you need to create an account. It's easy and it's free to do. Just go to Pinterest in your web browser, and then it'll ask you to set up your account. You can set it up with your email address and a password, or you can use your Facebook account to link it to that to use it. And then once you log in and do that, it will prompt you with this screen that I have here on how do I get started. It'll say, what are you interested in? And then what you're going to do is pick whichever thing that is interesting to you or something that you might be looking for information on. Say technology or travel, designs, things like that. It'll give you opportunities. And then you see right here, I've checked a couple boxes just to show you the difference. See, these are the boxes that are not checked, and these are checked. Then once you do that, you click follow, and then it'll start you into your account. So one thing, if you want to make it organized for yourself, I would suggest creating boards to put your pins in. Now, you don't have to have your pins saved on boards. You could just save pins, but if you create boards, it'll be more organized, and you can save pins later to that specific board. So when you get into your account, you'll see a plus button right here like this, and when you click it, it'll give you two options: to create a board or to create a pin. So you're going to pick whichever one that you want to create. So what I'm demonstrating first is how to create a board. So I click on that create a board, and then you get the pop-up. It looks like this over here. And what you do is you name what it is. So I named mine Crockpot Recipes. I just type it in there and then click create. Now you have an option here, which I'll talk about in a little bit. It's called a secret. Now, some of these boards you can keep as a secret board where only you can see it. It's not publicly posted for anybody else. And I'll go into that here in just a little bit. But so you put the name in, and then you click create. And then once you create it, it will look like this screenshot down here. It will automatically generate some pictures of things you might be interested in pinning automatically down at the bottom, because mine's called Crockpot Recipes. You can't see it because I have that open, but it gave me 5 different pins of information with crockpot recipes. So if I hit the plus, I can click create pin, or if I just hover over one of these, if I think this one looks good, the best ever crockpot, and I click it, it will give me the option to pin it, and it'll save it right here into this recipes. Okay, so let me go to the next one to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So this is kind of a close-up of what I was just talking about. If you see here, when I hover over it, it will give me this little red box that says save with a pin in it. And all I have to do is click that save, and when I'm in this board, it'll automatically save it to the board. If I want to save it to a different board, I still have that option. When I click save, there'll be a little drop down that pops up, and I can save it to a different board if I don't want it in this one. So it's real easy. You just click that save, and then it's saved. So let me show you what it looks like once it's saved. So once I saved the pin, if you look over here on the right, this was a recipe I saved. It will show you up at the top. Here's where I was talking about that drop down. There's a recipe drop down, and then I have the crockpot recipe drop down. So if I didn't want it in recipes, I could put it right in the crockpot and then click save. The recipe picture comes up, if whatever picture is associated with that recipe, the person that posted it is here. And then it shows how many pins they actually have pinned for recipes beside it. Here's the original website that it came from. So if you want to go to that original website that it was pinned from, you can just click right on that, and it'll take you into that outside of Pinterest. It shows you the ingredients, and another nice thing down here is it has a comment section. And with the comment section, people will put comments like, this is an awesome recipe, I love this chicken, it's the best chicken ever. Or they'll say, I made it and I didn't really like it, or I added this to it and it made it better. So that's something that if you're using something like this, you could see other people's comments just to see what they say about it, if it's something that you like. There's a couple other options you can do right here within your pin. If you click that send button right up here at the top with the arrow that's pointing up, this over here is a screenshot of what happens when you do that. So you have options to share this or save it when you're finished. So the first one, it gives you the WhatsApp, it gives you Facebook, Twitter, you can send it in Messenger, you can copy the link, the URL link, or you could send it an email. And then even if you have friends on Pinterest you want to share with or email to, you could type it right in here and it would send it to that person. So you have lots and lots of ways to share or send this after you determine whatever pin that you have. If you ever see little 3 dots, that is considered the more. It gives you more information, more details. So if you click that, it'll give you the pop-up. You can download the image, you can report the pin, or you can embed it. So it gives you more options that way. And then creating a pin on your board, you can create your own pins rather than using other people's pins. I have not personally done this just because I like some of the other pins, but if you would like to create your own and you have recipes or details, the information on your computer that you want to put in your own to have in one spot, this is the way you would do it. If you click that plus button and you click create a new board, you can create your own pin right there. So this will pop up and you'll have a spot to drag and drop pictures or information right into here. You're going to put the title on here. You're going to tell everybody, what is this about, or maybe put your recipe on here if it's a recipe, and then you have the spot to put the URL from the website that you found it, and then you can click save, and then you have your own pin that you created rather than getting information from other people, especially if it's something that you use all the time. This is really easy to do. It walks you through the steps, so don't be afraid to try it. You can't really mess anything up, so it will tell you how to do it. So this one is a screenshot of your home screen, and the home screen across the top, once you're logged in, you can see I'm logged in right here, but you have this big long search, and this is where you can search for anything that you're looking for. Just type in part of the word or the whole word, whatever you're looking for, and then hit your enter, and then it'll pop up all these nice pictures of whatever you were searching for. And there's pretty much everything you could think of is on here. But the home screen, it shows across the top of it here in the center, it says following, and those would be boards that you're following or pins that you're following, and then your name with your picture will show up there. And then you have messages and notifications. And again, you have those 3 dots for the more. So let's take a little closer look on that following tab. So if I click that follow tab, what it does, it automatically generates some ideas of things maybe you might be interested in. A lot of times things will come up, I'm not interested whatsoever. But again, other times I'm like, wow, that looks really great. I might want to pin that. So that's what this does. It will generate it for you. And almost every time you come in, it will be something different. It won't be the same thing every time. So it will give you suggestions of things that are similar that you have saved up here. People that post things, all you have to do is you can click that plus and add them to somebody that you follow. Or if you have a friend that has boards, you can follow their boards and see what they're looking at. And so that's what the following tab is. You just hit this little person up here, put the person's name in, excuse me, and follow them. And then the next tab is your account tab. So if you looking at your account itself, this is what it looks like when you click on it. You have boards, pins, tries, and topics will come up. And you have these 3 little boxes here, and that's how you view your board. You can view them boxed this way. You can line them up straight down kind of as a list, but you have some options on how you want to see them. I just have mine in these box fashion because it's just the way I like them. But as you can see, there's all different pictures under the different categories. So you put the categories when you make those boards, and then you save your pins to them. So this is what it looks like when you're looking at the boards. The second one, this is what it looks like over here on the left. These are the pins. Now these are pins that I did not save into my boards. These are just pins that I saved, and I haven't put them in a board yet. I can move them in a board later if I want to. If I don't, if I don't want them just kind of hanging out by themselves, I can organize them. But if I just want them, I just have them as an individual pin and just can sort through them the same way as you would as if they were in a board. And then you have this one, it's called tries. And basically what it is these are pins that you have tried to do something with, whether it's creating something or cooking something or an exercise routine, anything that you've tried, or a do-it-yourself project. You can add it on here that you've tried it, and you can tell your result from it. Did it come out exactly the way the pin looked, or was it something totally opposite? So this is what you can say, okay, I tried this, I liked it, and it's something you can come back to later. So, okay, that's that recipe I tried that I really, really liked. That's where it's at. And you can save it in your tries just to organize it a little bit better. Or you can go, oh, yeah, it came out terrible. I'm not doing that ever again. You put it in there too, so you know the difference. And then it also has topics. It will give you selected topics, and it will give you the red follow button. These are not so much topics that you might be interested. You may be interested and you may be not. If you are, all you have to do is click that follow, where they're just suggestions. And if you click follow, then you can be following those pins under those categories. Now, across that page there again that I was showing you earlier, the first one with the little bubble with the 3 dots, that's kind of like an instant messenger. You can send a direct message to someone. All you have to do is go there and find that person that's on Pinterest. You can type their name in, you can add a picture, you could add a description, or you can just send them a private message. It's a private message system built in, and that's right there, that little bubble. Just click that button and then type it in. And the little bell, which I have a bigger zoomed in up here, this is notifications. And notifications come from maybe things that were posted, and they said, you like this other thing, maybe you would like this, and there's a notification. Or maybe it's a new post to someone that you follow, that will come up there as a notification also, so that you know. And then again, I just wanted to give you a screenshot of what the more button looked like. If you click the more button, this is the pop-up that'll come up. It's request a feature, get help, see terms and privacy, add an account, or log out. So that's what those 3 little dots are on that section. The section over here on the right, the screenshot, is edit your profile. You can go in once you create your account and change some things if you want to. You can change your picture. You can put other information down here. But I just kind of wanted to show you what was underneath it. You have your account settings. You have a claim. You have notifications, privacy, and security. And I want to show you one thing under your privacy setting. This is where you get to the settings for your secret board. Your privacy and data come up here. Your search privacy, you can change settings on that, and you can also personalize it. But what I wanted to do was include the instructions on how to make an existing board private. So if you've already created a board and you want to make it private, all you do is you go to that board and you can click on the little pen that's the edit. And then there's that toggle that I showed you earlier where it said private. If you toggle it to the right, then it will, and click save, it will make that board secret. That means that only you see the board. It's not a public board where anybody else can see it, only you see it. So know that you can have private boards if you need to. And then here are some safety tips for you. If a pin or board seems too good to be true, it probably is. There are a lot of fake accounts out there saying that there's certain celebrities and they're this and that. A lot of them are fake. So just keep that in mind. Only collaborate on boards with people that you know. If you don't want users to see your content, make sure you use that private board setting to use it. Limit your privacy settings for only the content that you want somebody else to see. And then here are a couple pros and cons for you. The nice thing it is free to use. You can create, organize, and visualize items. You can share your boards easily with friends. It's so easy to use that keyword search to find things. The cons are, it takes up a lot of time. I find myself looking at things and then I'm like, wow, I just spent an hour doing this. So if you have time, I guess it's not really a con. But most boards that you look at are public, and anyone with an account can see your boards unless you make it a secret board. So like I showed you earlier, if you don't want everybody looking at what you have pinned, just make it a secret board. So I hope that some of these things helped you to be able to understand what Pinterest is. And I want to thank the Guiding Ohio Online Grant for allowing us to do these. And I hope to see you back again next week at 1. Hopefully I will be on time next week and everything will work properly. So everybody stay safe and I'll see you soon. Bye.